All right, so we've got this website. It's starting to look good. And now that we've talked about the colorings of website, we're going to discuss what we should make this look like. So we really want to draw the user's attention to our header image. And then we also want to draw their attention to the article where the information is going to lie. So these random colors that I've given you of orange, blue, and yellow really aren't working for it. And even my teal in the background here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to my notes style sheet, and I'm going to go up to my header image or my header coding and delete the background color of my header. Now, that's going to create a problem with my image and really not drawing attention to it, but we'll get to that soon. I'm then going to go delete the background colors on my other objects just so I can see what it would look like if everything was white. In this case, if everything's white, there's really no drawing of attention except for where we're seeing black text. We're going to have more than that here, but it's important to note that that's the option that we have going on. The other thing is our navigation is going to have words in it or images. So it's going to draw based off of that. We really want to draw the user's attention to this article. So if we look at our color codes that you have for your color palette, I'm going to go back to my library here and look at my color palette. I can grab any of these codes. Now, if I grab, like, for instance, this beautiful blue, and I put it in my article here, so I go back to article and I add back a background color and put in the hexadecimal number. That's a pretty good looking color, but maybe it's a little too dark or bright for me. I could, of course, make the text be white, so I could go color of white, and then that would make the text pop on it, but that's kind of hard to read. White text on top of color is very hard to read, especially if the color is also bright. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm not going to change the color to white. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to change this background color. Now, on this background color, I want some version of this blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up shades of a color hex online. And this second option, hexcolortool.com, is really cool because I can go ahead and paste in a hex color, and then I can lighten it. So I can choose lighten, or I can adjust the scale of black to white here, and I can lighten that color and continuously lighten it by different percentages, or I can just drag it and lighten it myself. And when I do that, I'm still saying in the same hex number, but I'm not, like, the hex range, but I'm not choosing a brand new color. And then I can go ahead and grab that hexadecimal number for that and go in, copy it, and go into Dreamweaver and paste that over my other color. Still the same blue, but a lot lighter and not necessarily hurting my eyes. The next thing I can do is I'm going to go ahead and go back to my color scheme, and I'm going to use the blue with the orange. The orange is great because blue and orange are actually complementary colors across the color scale or color wheel. So they work really well together. People thought I was really crazy when I painted my kitchen orange and my wall blue, but it works really well. So much that my friends have stolen it from me. So I'm going to go to my footer here because the footer tends to be like a big block at the bottom. You'll notice they use a lot of dark colors for this. I'm going to use a bright color of that orange. I'm going to give it a background color of that orange, and then I am going to make the color of the text white. It's mainly going to be links down there and copyright things, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then the last thing I have is my nav, which I can also begin to draw attention to. I'm going to leave it white for right now, and we'll come back to it later. But before I'm done, I need this header to pop more. These colors just aren't working. So I'm going to go to File, Save All, and then I'm going to go back to Illustrator. I'm going to make some changes. I'm going to make this Sylvia's Awesome Notes be my bright pink. So I'm going to change the color of that to the hexadecimal number of the bright pink. I'm then going to go into these images, and I'm going to make sure that this blue, so I'm going to select all the same fill color of it, is the same blue that I have in my color schemes. So I know it's not the same one, so I'm going to copy it and replace it. I'm then going to actually go ahead and make these circles be the orange in my color scheme. So I'm going to go grab my orange color and bring it in here for this circle. And if you're getting a color issue in your color panel, if you don't have it, you can go to Window Color. You might be stuck in K mode or black and white mode, grayscale mode. So you can click this triple line in the top of the right color and change it to RGB if you ever have an issue like that. and that will get you outside of grayscale mode. I'm then gonna go do the same over here, and that one looks like it's also stuck in grayscale mode, so I'm gonna go ahead and change that to RGB and change the fill color. Okay, so now that I have this nice looking image with all these colors, the next question is, how do I get this to replace this? Okay, so this is important. File management is super important because I can go file save my notes header AI file, and then go file export for screens. Notes header, okay, in Dreamweaver, notes header, check. Next thing, it's a PNG. Here in Dreamweaver, it's a PNG, check. Now, am I replacing it when I save it? If I click here and I make sure that my location is my Digital Design 1 folder, Notes Website, Assets folder, I don't see anything, but I do know that in my Assets folder, I've got this notes header.png right here. So I can select this folder with the same named file with the same file extension. When I click export, it'll ask me if I want to replace the old file, which I do because there is an old file in there that I would like to get rid of. I would like to get rid of the black and replace it with the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and say replace. And then you'll notice, bam, replaced. Totally cool. Now here's the coolest part, because it's a linked image. It's a source image the computer is finding. When I go back to Dreamweaver, it doesn't update automatically, okay? But if I go to my source code, what I can do is I can make it pull this again. Now, sometimes your live view will not upload, like it won't change, it won't update automatically. This is a big issue with Dreamweaver. I have this happen to me all the time and I get really frustrated. So what I'm going to show you to do is go to Window and your Properties panel. Your Properties panel, if it's sitting off like this, you can grab the gray bar at the top or go grab Properties and click and drag and drop till you get a blue bar here down at the bottom, and then let go to dock it. But what's cool is any change you make, even if you click out through the image and hit the spacebar, which we know spaces do nothing, it's going to ask you, do you want to refresh your page? If it's not automatically refreshing, and you can hit refresh or F5 and bam, there's your new header. So I'm going to go to live view and I'm going to see that I have a nice looking website with a color scheme that's working together. And I bet you really I should probably be using this pink over here for this navigation, which I'm going to go do right now. Actually, I've decided that I'm going to go do that looking at it overall. I'm not going to grab the full pink though, so I'm going to copy and paste that into here and get a lighter version of it. Not too light though. I don't want to go too light here. Copy that and go apply that in my CSS to my navigation. And now I have a very nice looking website so far. All the colors work together and I'm ready to start putting in like my navigation and some content. Make sure you save all this. You don't want to lose everything.